All right. Hello. Let's make some social media magic today. My name is Kara and I'm with the Paired Up Ladies. We are getting ready to talk about ways to make your social media stand out and really get some organic growth. So pay attention today. We're going to keep these points simple, straightforward, and help you create the best impossible environment you can for you or your client. Let's kick it off with the owner and founder of Paired Up, Kaylee Pear.
Thank you, Kara. And I'm so excited to have the team here today. So we've got Chelsea, we've got Kennedy, we've got Sheridan. So we're excited to have everybody and, well, not everybody, but most of the team, and kind of go over, we know, and anybody who's on social media knows, social media changes constantly. What works, what doesn't work. And it's just, you feel like you're running in a big circle chasing your tail. But in 2025, meaningful engagement is going to matter. So we're going to go through a couple of different things because what you may think is important may not be what you need to be focusing on. So I'm excited to be here with the team because we, all of us have our own specialty that we do well at. So the first thing, Kara, don't we have is, likes, followers. Focusing on that really isn't going to be what you need to do here in 2025. So I'm going to have Chelsea kind of touch in on this. Shallow likes are out, real connections are in. Kind of expand on this a little bit.
This is so important. People look at social media and they think that one of the biggest things is how many likes do you have? How many followers do you have? And that equates to success. And that could not be farther from the truth. Really, it is so important when you are doing your social media that you are posting to build connections with your customers, with your followers. It doesn't matter if you have 100 followers or 100,000 followers. It matters that you are connecting with them. And a lot of people want to jump on these follow trains or do these engagement groups because when they post something and they only get 5 likes or, they want the 5,000 likes. But the thing is, it's not converting. It's not making the money. It's not growing a community. It's really just a big number for other people to go, oh, wow, they have a big following. And so it doesn't mean that they're making sales or that they're successful.
Can I be honest? I feel like when I'm going through social media now too, Chelsea, and I don't know if you do this as well, I save things and share them more than I like them.
Yep.
Yes.
Same.
Yep.
100%.
I don't know why. That seems kind of odd. That's changed, right?
Well, no, I think we're all so busy and we have so many things going on that we want to look at the content that matters to us. This is going to be a big topic about what we talk about today, but having the content that really resonates with you individually and you save it. So, okay, I can come back to that because we get distracted so quickly and we get pulled in another direction. You have kids, you have a job, you have to run here or there everywhere. So then you save it or you share it with somebody that will like it as well. So then you can also go back to it. So that's why like meaningful posts is so important because no one's looking at how many likes there are anymore. And to be honest, if I'm looking at likes and I see there's a lot, I'm wondering, okay, well, are they real likes or are they just fake likes?
And I've heard that social media companies will dock you if you're buying your likes, or they will take notice of that.
You go in I call it the social media doghouse. And I will say that when we go to work with a new client, that's like the first thing that comes out of my mouth is we will not work with you if you have bought followers unless you let us start from scratch and start over. Because it's been several years now that's been a thing, but a couple of years ago, maybe 3 years ago, it was really big buying followers and doing all of that. And again, what does that do for you? As Chelsea was just saying, it doesn't convert because they're not your target audience. They aren't going to buy from you. They're not going to use your service. I don't care if my client has 960 followers and gets 5 to 10 likes on their posts. If the people who are looking at it and remember them when they need them, then they use them for whatever service it is or buy whatever they have. Chelsea, we have a client that, was really thrived when the follow trains were kind of a big deal and it really helped them then. So it did work for them, but now that's not happening anymore. And they're starting to see that really it's just the people that buy from you that you really need to target and then target people like them.
Absolutely. I mean, like we've said, you can buy followers, you can join these engagement groups, but it's not really doing you a service because you nailed it, Kaylee. You're not reaching your target audience. You're reaching people that just want the numbers. They want the big numbers for the show, but it's not really resonating with your customers and who you want to share the information with. So
Even influencers now. I think back in the day, influencers were like, hey, I need to have as many followers as I can. My likes need to be up. My comments need to be up. But I think now with, as a company who looks at influencers for clients, I want to see your media kit. So I want to see what's actually being engaged with. I want to see what's actually happening behind the scenes, that then the follows, the likes and all of that. So I don't think that helps anyone, no matter who you are anymore.
I would
All
say
right,
with along influencers, like it's rare because you have those, like along with the follow trains, they do all these giveaways. And most of the time, like you're going back through and unfollowing the person that you followed just for this giveaway. So sometimes it's really rare, like that you have somebody that stays there, and either it's one, because they forget to go and unfollow you, or two, which is great, is that they really enjoyed following you and what your content was, and that resonated with them. So that's kind of a hit or a miss with those giveaways, but I'm always seeing those and like wondering how those followers and the likes and the engagement, because it's only going to be on that one post sometimes.
well, you better have some really good content lined up after you do a contest, right?
Yeah, to keep them.
Exactly. Okay, let's move on to our next point today. Forget algorithms, build communities that last. So really talking about strong engagement that's building loyal audiences that algorithms can't ignore. So not those people that, like you mentioned, Sheridan, just are there for a post and leave.
Yeah, I would say this really goes along with that liking and building a following train, because if you don't have a community that's really foundational, nothing's going to last. Like you can have so many followers, but if it's really not built on a community, then you're not going to be able to withstand like the test of time. Like the people, the influencers, the brands, the companies, anybody that has a following that's super engaged on their posts, that's always sharing, that's always saving, that it really resonates with them, they're building that community from the foundation up. And when you're buying followers, like those aren't going to be the people that are engaging. Those are either the bots or it's random people that aren't going to be engaging on what you're trying to either sell or promote or just build a lasting impact. And so those type of accounts that aren't building their community, the accounts that are building their community, the algorithms really aren't going to impact them so much, because their followers are coming to them for what they know that person is selling or promoting or what they represent. Like that's not changing. It's really just the Instagram algorithm or whatever platform's algorithm is doing its thing, but they have their foundation. So it doesn't really matter all the time.
And I think a really important note to piggyback off of that, Sheridan, is giving it time. So a lot of people expect right away for that community to have its firm foundation. What's the saying? Rome wasn't built in a day, or something like that. It takes a while. So that's why when you work with a company like ours, when you start off, I say you've got to give it 7 months to a year for that foundation and that to start growing and really people trust, because they want to know, people that are watching, it's the same as in the news business. They want to know that the person that was there yesterday is going to be there the next day, that they can feel safe and trustworthy. So your community takes time and you have to water the plant. I don't know how many things I'm going to say right now, but you really have to nurture it. So if you're building a Facebook group and it's all for, let's say you run a gym and you want to do some coaching and stuff in a private group and have it just be for the people that are there, you've got to put in a lot of effort for the first, 6 months to a year. And you're going to think this isn't working, but it is working. It just takes time. So I just don't expect that community and that social media, your page and your following to happen overnight, because you've really got to show up over and over and over again. And people have to know what they expect from you and what they have to come to before they're going to keep coming back without you telling them to.
All right. Thank you, ladies. Okay. So our next one that we have here, conversations versus clickbait. So this sort of breaks down. I mean, a lot of these build on one another or they cross over. They're definitely not siloed, but meaningful discussions amplifying your brand far more than empty clicks. Let's dive into that. I'm thinking sometimes of going beyond an emoji.
Yeah, I love this one. And honestly, from the beginning of when I started this business and creating content for companies, it all stems from you've got to give someone something for them to want to come to you. Giving a little, like being like, hey, click here and follow me for this, or join this group and you'll get more of, like, nobody wants that, because then they got to do something else and they don't even know what you have to offer. Every business needs to give stuff for free, whether it's insight like we're doing now, or training, or tips, do it yourself. You have to give someone something of value before they're going to want to come and find out more from you. So an example that I will always go back to, and it's from when I was working in weather and on TV, and in the mornings when you would get like 15 seconds to give them something, but everyone wants the 7-day forecast. But you can't just be like, hey, I'll have the 7-day forecast coming up in 5 minutes. No, you have to give them, hey, today is going to be this. We actually have a couple days of rain on the way that could increase to about 5 inches. Stay tuned. I'll have more details in the 7-day. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just be like, hey, click here for the link to be able to get my whole portfolio of social media tips. But you have to sign up for this and you have to get on my email list before I'm going to give you that. Again, that's clickbait. Okay. Give me value before. And it's like we say with, okay, our window installation company. If, hey, you got to give me tips on windows and what I can do on my own to sustain the life of those windows before I need new windows. And then I think of you, because you're being honest with me. You're being transparent. You're trying to help me out so that when I need windows, who am I going to go to? The person who was giving me tips a year ago. It may take a year for that to translate into a customer, but it's a relationship. It's not a quick fix or a quick follow.
It's a long game. I mean, I'm thinking of that when I save recipes that I want to, or you can type, send me the recipe and they send it to you. I don't have to join an email list or do anything. But now I've got their recipes and I'm more likely to go back to them for other things. And maybe eventually if they do a product, maybe I'd be more, it's just like a domino effect. It is a long game.
It's a long game. And clickbait, I hate it. Just don't do it.
It's so salesy now, and salesy so 10 years ago.
It is.
It was like super trendy for like a minute. And then all of a sudden everyone was like, wait, hold on. What's happening here?
There were so many rules and so many instructions. I was like, I can't follow all these. Okay, I've got this next one up here. Quality engagement, yes, equals long-term growth. We said the long game. Deep interactions lead to brand advocates and sustainable success. And brand advocates brand advocates is us. Brand advocates are everyday people who share it to share a recipe to my mother. That's a brand advocate to an extent.
Yeah,
right?
And right. And we kind of were just talking about this, but I think that with the quality engagement, long-term growth thing, the big part is just building loyalty with your community and your followers and your audience. And then from that, those loyal followers and that loyal community, it's also a way to also keep bringing in a new, and growing your audience. I feel like that's the best way to grow your audience, is through a loyal audience that you have. And something that kind of goes off what we were talking about earlier that I read the other day that I thought was super just eye-opening was if you were sitting in the room and you had 500 people that were listening to just you, but they were fully there and engaged and cared about what you had to say, that's a lot of people. And so what people forget is 500 followers on Instagram. That might be seemingly small, but that outweighs a million that really could care less about you and what you have to offer at the end of the day. And I think that goes back to the quality engagement part and being a real human being and real-time interactions and being there to, communicate with them when they leave a comment and show you care. And I know we personally talk all the time about make sure you're responding in a timely manner, we're real people. It's not just, obviously you can do automations and stuff that are helpful, but if it's deeper than that, we like to have that real person that we're there and we're there to help and talk to you and all of that. So, and I think that goes a long way, and I've seen it go a long way. with our clients.
I love what you just said about the 500 people in the room.
Isn't
I
that
mean,
crazy? I was like,
you
whoa.
really couldn't have said it better because it's true. And I think because we can't see those people and they're kind of just like a name or a text, it doesn't feel like that. And it's like, that's why social media, I feel like, is such a huge tool that I think people overlook by all the like the stuff that makes them uncomfortable or being, it's just, hey, tell your story, be real, be honest, be authentic to your brand. Like, for example, we have a client that, they're struggling right now with the tariff situation because, their hands are tied and now they're having to raise their prices that were already high and they have to cater to their customers. And I said, be real on your platform about that. You talk to the people, be authentic in the struggle, go back to the basics of how you grew your brand. So I think that that's a good comment of, hey, talk to those 500 people, whether they're 15 people, whether they're 200 people, talk to them and be real and showcase what you need from them, because we're all just people trying to get by day to day. And I think that's what's so cool about social media. Also, one thing that I wanted to say about, the quality engagement and the brand advocates, Kara, that you brought up is user generated content. So this is big, and understanding this and having people who are advocating for your product in real time. Like the way that I work personally as a person, aside from social media, is you have to show me what that outfit's going to look like on someone that's like my body type. You have to show me how that product's going to work in real life. You have to show me this. Like I have no time in my brain to spend on figuring out how this is going to fit into my life. So using people and brand advocates to showcase what you have to offer as well is going to be a huge way to be successful in social media in 2025. It's not necessarily influencer marketing where you're doing a ton of that, but seeing the product or seeing your business done in real life and how you want someone, you got to show me how it would benefit me.
Very good point. Yeah, it's true. What's in it for me is always the question. What's in it for me? Let's look at this last one here. You have engagement driving influence in an overcrowded space. So cutting through the noise means making your audience feel seen and heard.
I think the point, and we don't have to spend a lot of time on this, but I really feel like the point of this is just not worrying about the noise. Listen to your customers, listen to what they have to say, but otherwise just put out what is on brand for you and don't worry about everything else. Let's say you have a little bit of engagement, but not a ton. If you are putting out the information, I have clients that we've been with for 3 years now. I can't believe that we've been around for that long at this point, but that they have posts that we did that are now just getting traction. The thing about social media is it lives there forever. And if it is of value and you're not tracing trends, you can do trends, don't get me wrong, but add value to your customers, and that will go a long way with engagement forever, whether it's today, tomorrow, or 2 years from now.
Okay, ladies, any final thoughts?
I was just going to point out that makes me think of the Nike campaign, like You Can't Stop Us. And it's kind of, it's super, it brings people to share like their personal stories. I don't know all the details about it, but it just made me think of that because I was reading something about it the other day. And it's just a way that they like have grown their brand. Obviously it's Nike, they're massive already, but like they're not ads, but they are ads, but they're ads from stories of their audience and their, all of us basically. And it's like really cool. And I don't know, that just made me think of it, just trying to think of a little testimonial there, because that's a really cool one that really makes me think of the engagement driving the influence. And that's my story there.
Well, if anyone's watching and is looking for some help, Kaylee, how can they get a hold of you?
You can go to our website, pairedupsocial.com. It has a way to contact us there. And if you go to our team page, all of us have individual emails that are listed on the website that you can reach out to anyone on the team. Again, pairedupsocial.com. And we do everything from training a team member of yours on how to run your social media and put together a 2-month content calendar with templates, or we take it all away from you. We run your social media marketing for each month. And then we also do social media advertising. So running your advertising campaigns, whether it's on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, any of them, we run that as well. So would love to set up a meeting with anybody. If you have any questions on anything we've talked about, you can obviously go to the website, or you can comment below on any questions, and we'll make sure to answer them as best we can.
You've also got more cool videos people can watch too.
Yep. Follow us on any platform. We're all over the place. YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. We're all over. So we've got a lot of great content. And even if it's from last year or the year before, most of it resonates. Our strategy is timeless. We don't jump on trends. We don't tell you to jump on trends. Our strategy is it's going to keep you going no matter what year it is.
Evergreen.
All right, ladies. Great job today. Thanks for the insight. Really helpful information. And we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, should be good. Should be
It
good to
says
go.
it's still recording.
Hey guys.
Let me
Hold on.
see.